everybody? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you spinning the block, for those of you who are new, welcome to the channel. My name is Paul. See, I was in the shower and I had what I think was a phenomenal idea for a short form piece of content. For short form content. I bring this up because from the moment I thought of it, there wasn't really much planning. I had it in my head, hopped out the shower, I got dressed, and I had to calm myself down because I was like so antsy, I was so giddy to get this idea out of my head that I was just like, I was doing too much. So I was like, yo, let me chill, relax, calm down, and then re-engage. And really once I did that, that's when more ideas started to flood into my mind because I was in a more calm state is what I'm trying to say. Because when I was like antsy, giddy, just to get this idea out, I wasn't really thinking about a creative path. I was just thinking about, okay, this one idea, let me execute. I'm glad I slowed down because, like I said, that brought so many more different ideas to mind. But today is, what's today? Happy Wednesday to everybody. Today is hump day. Had a phenomenal day in the gym today. And when I was in there, this old man, he was genuinely old. And I'm not saying this in a mean or negative way. The dude was old. He was coming down the stairs when I was going up the stairs. I was questioning, should this man be in the gym? That's how he was moving. But he was making his way down the stairs. He was like, good morning. I was like, good morning, sir. How are you? You know, he's like, I'm doing good. I'm still moving. And I thought that was such a beautiful thing because what's in motion stays in motion. Even though he was that old, the man was genuinely getting after it, going down them stairs. Usually I would have a point for y'all or like to tie it into a healthy part of my life or something. But nah, I just thought that was just a beautiful thing, a dope thing to see. I don't know, maybe that's the universe telling me to stay in motion for real. Oh shit. Yo, what's up, y'all? Don't mind the mess, first and foremost. Second and foremost, my office is obviously supposed to be used for office purposes. But I haven't sat in this chair in over a year. I need to clean my computer. If y'all can see the dust, y'all would be mortified for me. This brings me back to a question somebody dope asked me in the comment section. She was like, I don't know if you've already talked about this, but what's it like to live on your own? Was there an adjustment period or was the shift natural? So to start, what's it like living by myself? I have been living alone since I was 20 years old. I joined the Air Force when I was 20 and I moved to California. Before that, obviously, I lived with my mom. I had college roommates. And I got to California, and that was my first time being genuinely by myself. And not only that, I was in a whole nother state. I'm from Minnesota, so I'm hella far away from home. But due to certain rules and regulations regarding the Air Force, I had to live in dorms for, I think it was like 2-3 years. So I don't really count that aspect of me living alone. Now that I'm speaking this out loud, Germany was the first place that I actually fully lived alone. And that was probably one of the hardest times of my life. One, because I was new to Germany. I think I knew one person when I got there. Talking about adjusting and adulting, I was already used to being an adult, living an adult life, like staying on top of my duties, staying on top of cleaning, making sure my place is presentable, making sure it smells good, making sure there's toiletries for guests, making sure the guest bedroom is, just making sure that I have a presentable house to the eye visually, but also if somebody's staying with me that they feel absolutely comfortable. I definitely had to go through a lot of growing and understanding and learning, because when you live by yourself, you do everything by yourself. You don't have anybody over your shoulder saying, hey, take out the trash, hey, do the dishes, hey, do the laundry. You don't have anybody on your ass telling you these things. You genuinely have to be on top of this stuff on your own. Now, being a homeowner, that's a completely different thing from going to a spot, renting it, and being able to move around and not having to take care of the HVAC system, not having to take care of the laundry machines if something goes bad, plumbing, heating, AC. There's so much that goes into being a homeowner that I won't speak on. I don't think I'll ever speak on because that's not my lane, but there's so much more that goes into that aspect that makes living alone that much more difficult. It's doable if you know how to manage your time, manage your money. That's a big thing, and keep track of everything that's going on in your house. But outside of all that, also the mental aspect is something that I had to adjust to very aggressively because I spoke about this I was just speaking about this, but this is only one aspect of it. I'm just giving an example. I was talking to my sister, that's what it was. But when you live by yourself, you live alone, you don't have that daily human interaction. From the point you wake up to the point you go to sleep, that's if you don't leave your house. True homebodies. I leave my house so I have that human interaction, whether it be at a cafe, whether it be at the homie's crib, whether it be hanging out with friends. I have that human interaction. But there are days where I do stay home sometimes. Like the full day, I'll step outside, go walk and everything, but I won't have human interaction. But that's not only one day. There's so many days that turn out like that. So when I was talking to my sister, I was telling her the importance of speaking to yourself in a positive manner. Because when you live alone and you're by yourself 99% of the time, you spend a lot of time talking to yourself in your head, out loud. I don't know, I'm not judging anybody, but you spend a lot of time conversing with yourself, a lot of time in your head. So living by yourself, you have to be careful how you speak to yourself, your inner dialect. You can't be harsh on yourself. You can't be negative. You can't do anything that's going to negatively impact your perception, your inner perception of yourself. Something as simple as, oh, I forgot to do the laundry. Damn, like, that was stupid of me. That's dumb. Like, why did I do that? You can't talk to yourself like that. Oh, I forgot to do the laundry. Shit happens, cool. I'm about to do it right now. You have to be, and that's just a small example, but you have to be very meticulous and strategic on how you talk to yourself, how you process your thoughts and everything. I would say that's the biggest, or that was the most difficult part of me coming into living alone. I've never been one to talk like that to myself, to talk or speak negatively about the way I do things. Or I'll be hard on myself sometimes, but I'll never be like, oh, you're dumb, or why'd you do that? You're stupid. It's just the fact that not having that daily human interaction, that's what can get to you, especially if you work from home or you don't get out often. Like, that could really take a toll on you mentally. So outside of like taking care of your house, staying on top of that, I would say the social aspect of living alone might be the most difficult part. And that's coming from an introvert. Ambivert, really. I like to do most of my stuff alone. I like to be I love my alone time. Love my friends, love my family. I like kicking it with people, but for the most part, I like to do things by myself. I'm comfortable with myself. But there also comes a point where that ambiverted side of me yearns for that social interaction, that connection. So I would say that's the most difficult part, not having that human interaction every day, or actually having to go out of my way to seek the human interaction. That's the most difficult part. But outside of that, like living alone, it's taught me a lot. I've learned a lot about myself, my likes, my dislikes, how patient I can be, how impatient I can be with certain things. It teaches you a lot living by yourself. And like I said, you talk to yourself so much, so you're constantly learning new things about yourself, which is a beautiful thing in itself. But I will say I'd recommend every adult person to live alone at least one time in your life. I think that's an important arc for your character development. When you share a space with someone or multiple people, you have that social interaction, but you rarely have interaction for yourself, just you interacting with you. Whether that be processing your thoughts, whether that be going over your to-do list. You rarely get that time, unless you're a recluse, you rarely get that time to genuinely sit with yourself and learn more about yourself. Not saying it's impossible, it's obviously possible, but it's also easier to get distracted by those human elements. When you live alone, you just don't have that option, that social option, I guess you can say, unless, like I said, you go out of your way to to get it. But nah, she asked me that, and I was like, damn, It's something I've thought about hella times, but I was like, that's a good question. Honestly, that's all I can think of right now. Like those were the biggest things. Living alone is fire. It's amazing. I would suggest that every young adult or just every adult in general, just at least one time in your life live alone just to experience the experience actually being by yourself, experience having to rely on yourself and nobody else for various tasks or various things. I think it's hella important, but that's just me. But yeah, this is my, it's really not even an office. I'm not going to call it an office. This is really a storage room with my computer in it. But I will say, having this house that I use, 40% of it maybe, I'm about to start utilizing this office. My friend, she was like, the fact that you haven't set it up and it's basically like a storage room, that's why you don't come up here in hopes to use it for what it's, for the purpose that it's made for. So I'm like, one, you're right. Two, I think it's time that I actually put in some effort in this office, because I do everything downstairs, everything on my couch in my living room area, which is cool, but I don't want to mix the living room area, which is that's my place of zen. That's my spot. I don't want to mix that area with work, because that needs to be my place of zen. Just like my bedroom doesn't have a TV, it's my place of sleep. I go to my bedroom to sleep, and that's it. I wake up, leave, boom. But my plan for this space is to make it so that I want to use it. What's the point of having, just like I talked about in my last video, having IG? What's the point of having it if I'm not using it?
Baby, I don't wanna sound righteous. I got 20 bitches sucking like Dysons. I just any mini money roll the Dysons. I pick.
Yo, I've been listening to this Kanye album. Outside of Sade, he's always been my favorite artist all time. I was reading comments on Twitter. People were like, oh, he sounds unmotivated. He doesn't sound like the old Ye, blah, blah, blah. Which I get, but it's like that was him 20 plus years ago. You can't expect artists to sound the same, be the same, go about their music, their creativity, their art the same for decades without changing or without evolving or without trying different things. I don't know. This just to me goes to show that, or goes to prove that no matter what you do, there's always going to be haters. You can't satisfy everybody. Do what you want. Do what you want. When it comes to your creativity, nobody can tell you, oh, that's wrong or that's right, or do it this way, because it's your creativity. Do it how you want. Just make sure you put 10 billion% into it. Anyway, I just got not done with the cafe. I just left the cafe. I came to a cafe that I go to all the time, but that wasn't my intentions. My purpose was to go to this cafe I've been eyeing for a minute. Something different. I've never been there. I've been looking into it. I'm like, today's the day I'm gonna go. So I drive over there. It's closed. I think it's open from like 7 to 11. I didn't even think to look on Google before I went, because I'm like, it's a cafe. It's lunchtime. Of course it's gonna be open. Nah, it's like a specialized or a specialty cafe. I don't know, but that's their hours. So I was getting ready and I was like, I'm gonna go to this new cafe, and then I was like, nah, let me just go to the cafe that I'm familiar with, the cafe that I know. But then I was like, nah, because I'm getting stuck into, not necessarily routine, but I'm getting complacent, going to places that I'm familiar with, going to places that I've already been to. It's something that I know, so I don't have to deal with the fear of the unknown. Granted, I could have went to another new one, but I had stuff to do and I wasn't trying to be looking for different cafes, so this is why I ended up at the one I'm always at. But in my defense, I tried to do something new. And if I had time to do or try something different, like a new location, then I would have. If you are able to do something new, we'll just use cafes for example, since this is the topic of conversation. If you have the opportunity to go to a different cafe to experience a different environment, experience something new, maybe a different coffee, different matcha, different tea, whatever have you, do that shit. Do not do it. Don't keep going to the same cafes. Don't keep going to the same places. Yes, it's comfortable. Yes, it's cool. You know what's going on. You know the vibe. You don't have to worry about if you don't like it or not. Still, that's the point of trying new things, growing, and maybe finding out new stuff that you that you thoroughly enjoy. But let me get off my soapbox. I'm about to head home. I just spent too long in that cafe. And I'm about to listen to this Kanye on the way home. I used to go into these stores for specific items, certain items, or I'll have a list of these specific items. And I would go into these stores and I would buy everything that I saw that I thought that I needed. And that's been me for the past couple years, I'd say. Especially when I got to Vegas and I moved into my crib. It's like every time I went into the store, it's like, okay, this is for my house. I need it. No matter what it was. And it was mostly stuff for the crib. I've gotten so much better. One more time. I've gotten so much better with controlling my spending habits, I guess you can say. My pointless spending habits. There were so many things in that store that I saw that I wanted. And I don't really even like Home Goods anymore, to tell you the truth, because their quality it's gone to buns over the past few years. I usually just come here for not toiletries, kitchen and bathroom stuff, toiletries and kitchen stuff. I went into this store and like I said, I saw so many things that I genuinely wanted that could have been dope in the crib, but I was like, I don't need it. 1 and 2, I gotta get over that dopamine hit from spending. I've noticed that's Vegas going crazy. I've noticed for a little bit since I've started changing certain habits that I'm getting better at discipline. I'm disciplined well in certain aspects of my life, and then there's other aspects of life that could use work in the discipline area. I'm not perfect, and I know that. I just hit myself in the face, so if this turns red, y'all understand why, with this damn tripod in this tight space, trying to film in this car. Anyway, I digress. I don't know, I've just been really processing my thoughts and understanding, okay, in the past, these were similar habits, and I didn't necessarily like these habits. Like high-key dislike them, because it's like I get that dopamine hit from spending or buying something that I think I want, and I'll buy it and it'll be cool, and then like that feeling just goes away, and then I'll just continue the cycle, just keep doing it, and I got tired of it. It's something that I noticed internally, and I was like, nah, that's got to change, because what's the point of just constantly spending money on stuff that I do not need? Just constantly compiling and buying and collecting things that are just of the moment. Like I'm tired of that. That money can go to traveling, or that money can go to, something more beneficial. And I had like a couple things in my hand, and I was looking at them, I was like, I do not need these things. I had a shelf for the wall, I had a lamp, I had, I think, like a mat. I didn't need any of these things. I got 25 lamps in my home. I got 36 shelves in my home. I don't even know what type of mat I was looking at. I don't even know if I needed a mat. I was just looking at it. Before I got this camera, I wasn't coming out to parks. I wasn't doing much. I was just sitting at the crib if I didn't have plans. I didn't have plans today. I just came out. I was already out I was already out shopping, and I was like, I don't want to go home. I have free will. I don't have to if I don't want to, and I didn't want to. So I was just driving around for a little bit, and I just came to this park. Nice ass park, people playing froth or frisbee golf, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, just human shit, like just human stuff, just feeling human, being human, doing human stuff. Shouts out to this camera, shouts out to Free Will, and shouts out to all y'all, man, for real. Almost to 1K subscribers. We gonna keep pushing, keep putting out quality content, and I'm gonna bring y'all along the journey with me. But I appreciate y'all forever. Y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other, call somebody, tell them you love them, be easy, not too easy, and work smart, not hard. It's more efficient.